Today we'll talk about recommendation engines, the topic of our project. Team members are Sandeep, Febin, Amal, Alan, and Inamul. The agenda would be discussing about recommendations, what they really are, what and where they are used, what are the types, what algorithms they use, and then moving on to implementation in R and Python. So what recommendation basically is, it tries to find out the similarity between the two people, what kind of stuff they are doing, and similarly they will predict and they will recommend to the third user based on. So recommendation basically tries to collect the data from user, find out some sort of similarities, and provide recommendations on things like buying products or watching movies, etc. For example, if you keep similar items together, the lady is, if she's going to buy milk, she might end up buying bananas as well and coffee as well. So such type of recommendations are used with recommendation engine. So these are certain applications of recommendation engine. Online shopping, you must have seen when you go to a online website, shopping website such as Amazon, when you try to click an item, you also get some recommendations based on the items that you're seeing, you're watching. Also entertainment, like if you watch movies on Netflix, you also get recommended by similar sort of movies. Advertisements, the stuff you surf on the internet, you get advertisement based on that. Social sites, travel advisors, e-learning, and mobile applications are certain other applications of recommendation engines. So there are two types of recommendation engines: content based filtering and collaborative filtering. So in content based filtering, the items, you try to draw a correlation between the products, items, and the user preferences. It works with existing profile of users, and particular item does not depend on lots of user data. So if you see here in the diagram, inspired by your browsing history, so this is what content based filtering does. But it certainly has some problems with this model. For example, you need to learn what content features are important for users. If certain feature important for one person might not be important for others, so you have to take into account all of these features. You have to take into account user taste and preferences and stuff like that. Whereas in collaborative filtering, it is based on the opinions of other people. For example, there are two people with similar kind of body structure, and if you notice one's eating patterns, you can recommend, for example, cola in this case, to this guy, and he might end up buying that also. So there are three similarity algorithms that can be used to deduce a similarity between products. We used cosine similarity in our case, which tries to draw an angle between between two products. For example, this word hello world and hi world and hello world. You see the angle is very large. That means they are two very dissimilar items. In this case, the angle is less. That means they're very similar to each other. So this is the cosine similarity formula for that. Dot product of a and b, and this product of a square and b square. Next, we move on to the implementation using R. We first load the data sets: quiet SM movies dataset, and ratings dataset, tags, links. Then we try to create a matrix out of the user ID and movie ID, and then we fit the model using recommender using recommender lab library, and then we try to predict recommended movies for first user in our database. And finally we try to improve our output, for which you can see when you load the dataset, you get this fit the data, and you receive, when you predicted, you get top 5 recommended movies. And now you try to improvise your results, you match your user ID to movie name. And implementation is Python is pretty much similar. You use theory create library for that, load the data sets, create a matrix, and use cosine similarity as your metric. You fit your model using this, and you are able to predict it first 5 outputs or 5 recommended movies for first 5 users. So first 5 users, recommended movies for them, then next 5 for these. So thank you.